Hey, my name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego. That is 2 O's.
Yo, what up? My name is Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend. And thank you guys for anyone joining us for our live edition this week. Back-to-back weeks being live. And I think, what are we calling this, Will? The thrashing of the Texans this week?
We actually got the name wrong when we were putting it on the on Twitter, but yep, the thrashing of the Texans. Man, oh man, absolute beatdown. The first time this score has ever been produced in the NFL. 31-5.
Scoregami.
Scoregami, baby.
We were there, all three of us.
Well, Jackie, a scoregami is when a man and a woman live. No, kidding, Chris. A scoregami is a unique score in the NFL. There are, despite the NFL being around for, just a little over 100 years now, there have been some scores that have just never happened, and 31-5 happened to be one of them.
That five is always a tough one to get if you're a bettor, but it hit, and I know that was kind of a cool thing. I haven't been in the stadium a while, and I know we all hung out. You guys came back in town. You guys obviously made it back home safely. How'd you guys enjoy Arizona?
I'm a ghost. I'm not alive anymore.
It was great.
It was really cool being back. Seeing a game in State Farm Stadium for the first time in 15 years, it's just completely insane. Like, I haven't seen the Cardinals win live since 2006, and that streak ended on Sunday, and that was really, really cool. I will say the fans were like absolutely insane during the game. Like, you could barely hear the. If I was on the Texans, I bet I could barely hear the snap count. And you got to figure it was that loud with like 5,000 to 10,000 seats being empty. If I am a opposing team, especially a rival, this is a place I will not want to play any week from this point forward. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it was nice having like majority our fans, especially, we've gone to games where we're outnumbered in our own turf, but compared to last year when I went to that COVID game, we were really spread out. We weren't as loud as we could have been. So atmosphere was great. It was nice seeing everybody, especially since we're season ticket holders, like being back with our people group. So it was pretty cool. I dug it a lot.
Yeah, there weren't what I noticed. There weren't very many Texans fans there. I feel like the ones I saw were wearing Astros gear since they're in the World Series right now. So there were. I don't know about what you guys thought. I don't know about your area, Jackie, but there seemed to be a lot of empty seats. And I know when we had season tickets, they used to give the row in front of us dedicated to opposing fans. I tried having a buddy get season tickets with us and sit right in front of us, and they said no, you'd have to sit behind you because the row in front of you is strictly for opposing fans. So I know the Texans probably don't travel well these days considering everything, but it was nice to actually be there and hear basically the Cardinal fans just holding it down the whole fucking game because this Thursday, tomorrow, now we're actually 10 minutes away from being 24 hours to kickoff for Thursday night football against the Packers. I'd anticipate a little bit more Packers fans there tomorrow than what we saw on Sunday, but hopefully the Cards fans who are there can hold it down this week as well.
Yeah, I'd say it'd probably be like a 60-40 or 50-50 split for tomorrow night with the fans. So if any fans are attending this game and who are listening to this right now, get fucking loud. You can make anybody in your section who's wearing green just
give them hell.
Hate themselves for coming. Don't fucking assault them or anything, but
give them hell.
Yeah,
let them know. Yeah, let them know they're on our turf.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we left the game, my dad was making sure like everybody that was sitting around him, like, see you Thursday. So everybody better show up, show out.
Exactly. Jackie's dad talked to everybody, so you guys better all show up.
It was nice meeting nice meeting your dad. So I met both of your dads now. Jeez. That was
Damn,
a
I
good
guess that
time,
means we
though.
have to
Yeah,
meet.
thanks for meeting up with us, Jackie.
Yeah.
Anytime. My dad was like, so my dad knows I do a podcast. I'm not sure if he actually listens, but it was cool at my baby shower. He was like telling like all his sisters, like, yeah, she does a podcast
Aw.
and she gets in Twitter fights with people. He was telling like the people in our section about it too. And then I actually ran into one of my Twitter homies, like that was actually sitting next to us.
Yeah, who is that? That
Like,
was
oh, you're famous,
was it? What's his Twitter
Al-
handle?
Alfred. I'm sorry,
Alfreezy. Yeah,
Alfred.
no,
Yes,
no.
and he
He's a
was
big.
like
He's a
so
big.
excited to meet me,
Yeah, he's
and
a
I was
big
excited to meet
sports
him.
fan. I follow him as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so cool.
I thought about telling my my Uber driver about the
You should
cast.
have.
I thought about it, but I didn't want to like self plug in an Uber. I thought that'd be weird.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool meeting up with like different people.
But yeah, man. So let's talk about the man of the hour. I didn't get a chance to talk about him last week because I was on an airplane, which sucked. But Zach Ertz, in his debut game, what became the first player to ever score a touchdown in back-to-back weeks on two different teams. What did you guys think about how Zach Ertz played? Do you think it? Do you think he showed out?
Oh hell yeah! I mean, he played. It looked like he played about 50% of the snaps, which is kind of what we expected week one. He's not going to know the whole playbook yet, but for him to come in and I got his first catch on video. I believe I did. I don't know. I was kind of drunk. I think
That was a good
Will
catch.
can confirm that. I was pretty drunk Sunday, but it was a fun time. But I mean, how could you not be, you know, giddy about the options that he provides to us now? Like Max Williams is holding it down, but I don't think anyone anticipated him to continue probably the pace that he was going on, which would have been probably close to 70 catches on the year or something. That would have been far and away a career high. So you bring in Zach Ertz, who literally, I know we talked about last week, but just 2 years ago, he broke the record for most catches by a tight end. And it looked like he had juice on that 47-yard touchdown. And shout out to Christian Kirk on that blocking downfield. But yeah, it's crazy to think that's his longest touchdown of his career in his first game with the Cardinals. I take that as a pretty good sign.
Yeah, I mean, we got instant gratification, and that's exactly what you want, especially, you're just barely coming in trying to learn the offense. And there was a little hiccups with, misreads, misconnections. But I believe that 47-yard reception wasn't that the longest of his 8-year career?
Yep, longest touchdown of his career.
Yeah. So it's nice that this all paid off and paid off quick, and it's only going to get better from here as he keeps gelling with Kyler.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
I mean, in a draft like this, I mean, a fifth round pick ain't gonna get you far. I mean, with how little we gave up to get him, like we got the pick, we used the pick we used for Evan Boehm or whatever the fuck his name is. I forget his fucking name. Who cares? Fuck the Vikings. uh, and the pick we would have probably have gotten for Patrick Peterson to get Zach Ertz. And I mean, I think we saw more production out of him on Sunday than we would have anybody we could have gotten for either of those two picks. So I mean, I really like it. I really like that trade, and I really like what I see from him so far. I think he came in and he fit seamlessly.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And I like to see. I think here in the next couple of weeks we'll see his usage increase, but I don't think we'll probably see his full, um, his full snap counts that he will be playing later on in the year until probably after that bye week that's coming up in a few weeks. So, but I mean, there's definitely nothing he can complain about. Yeah, like Jackie mentioned, they had a miscommunication on a route. I believe in the end zone or in the red zone, and then after the game, Ertz even said that the interception was on him, the one interception Kyler threw. So, I mean, Ertz coming out and saying that, Kyler loves to hear that. Zach Ertz is a pro's pro. He's been around the league for a while, so he definitely wants to get on Kyler's good side. And I mean, yeah, like Jackie also mentioned, like we got that instant gratification. You don't always get that in sports, but hopefully this is a sign of things to come here in the next few weeks and heading down the home stretch as we enter the playoffs. Knock on wood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it is really something to be where we are right now and just not have to worry about, okay, who are we gonna get at the trade deadline? Who are we gonna, draft? It's like I haven't looked at a single mock draft. I mean, I've looked at like the articles that pop up for trade deadline shit, and it's like, okay, well, Jabril Peppers is not going to come to us because we don't need a defensive back, or we don't need any of these things. It's just I'm looking at this roster, and as it stands, there's no real immediate hole with our starters. Now, mind you, with injuries, I mean, like center is the big issue right now. Max Garcia, he he's been good at blocking, but some of those snaps have been really, really suspect. Like there are at
Now he's
least
banged up.
yeah, and now he's banged up, and I don't even know who's supposed to be starting on Thursday if he's not starting. So
Jack Harlow's cousin, Sean Harlow. I don't know if you guys know they're related. The
I did
rapper.
not know.
No, actually, they're not. But I
We're
do
making
remember Sean Harlow in preseason. He actually, if I recall, he graded out really well in the preseason. That was someone I know not a lot of people had making the roster prior to camp, but he came out and he did well. So this could be his time. I know he has. We're here Wednesday night, and Max Garcia hasn't practiced all week. So that's probably who's going to be filling in at center until Rodney Hudson can come back or until Max Garcia can come back, whatever happens first. And I know one talking point this week has been the play of Josh Jones at right guard. He moved up back to right guard when Kelvin Beechin came back off. I don't know if he was on IR. Yeah, I believe he was on IR, but came back and started at right tackle. I know Josh Jones had at least a penalty, maybe two, and gave up a handful of pressures. And I believe that one big hit that Kyler took, that was Josh Jones's guy. And I mean, he's a young guy, and we talked about this year. He was graded as one of the top win rates from pass blocking and run blocking through ESPN's Max. I think he was graded really well from PFF as well. But I don't think any of us expected Josh Jones to come in and automatically be an all pro. He's going to have his growing pains. So hopefully, what happened last week, this past Sunday against the Texans, is something that, I mean, he's got all the tools necessary. And in any professional sport, I don't care what you play, people are going to adapt to you. There's too much film out there nowadays. They're going to go and do hours and hours worth of film and try to find your weakness, and then they're going to try to exploit it. So now it's Josh Jones's turn to come back and figure out how to adapt and how to evolve his game and just get a little bit more fundamentally sound, because he's got the strength and he's got all the measurables that you want in someone up front for your line. But I mean, he's still a young guy. He's started less than 10 games in his career. So, but like you said, might we might have to add a center at the trade deadline. I know prior to us going on there, Will, you mentioned that you were looking into a defensive lineman at the trade deadline. I think that could be an area as well, because we haven't mentioned, but J.J. Watt will be out tomorrow night against the Packers. So we'll be getting Chandler Jones back off the COVID list, but we'll be missing J.J. Watt. So, and behind J.J., you got some young guys. We're gonna have Zach Allen back out there as well, I believe, off the COVID list. But behind them, next to them, you got Lecky Fotu and Rashard Lawrence, and those are both second year players. So I don't have a name right now off the top of my head who we go after, but I would think someone maybe on the cheap up front on the defensive line would be that, or the offensive line. You can't have too many guys rotating in and out offensively and defensively in the trenches. Sorry to
yeah.
ramble, but yeah,
No,
that's how I feel.
I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, cool.
So let's say we do
Time
make
to
a
drink
move.
my beer. Oh, shit.
So let's say for whatever reason, Kime's not satisfied, and we do make a move at the trade deadline. What names do you guys like?
I have no idea because I don't know. I haven't paid attention to anybody that could be a possibility. All I know is if we can move Isabella and get somebody that can help us with our offensive line or our defensive line, I will be stoked.
Yeah, I think if we can get just any draft capital for Andy Isabella, that's instantly an upgrade. I mean, there are teams who are definitely interested in him. I think it was Ian Rappaport who said that there are teams expressing interest in him, and it's like at this point, we're not using him. He doesn't really have any presence on our team right now. So why not trade him for a fifth or a sixth round pick to the Pats or the Saints or whoever? I mean,
Somebody take him. Jesus.
yeah, I mean, I think the easiest decision to make there is to, trade him and to upgrade Dortch from the practice squad. I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
what I saw from Dortch.
I think we didn't really. I know we asked this question on Twitter right before we jumped on there, and honestly, I didn't even realize the fucking trade deadline was coming up next week. My brother brought it up last week. I was approaching after week 8, and I mean, it is to think that your trade deadlines before the official midpoint of the season. That's kind of dumb. NFL needs to adjust that. There aren't enough teams that are out of it at this point. There are the handful of teams that Texans, Lions, some of the worst teams in the league. But I would like to see that trade deadline move to probably after week 11 or 12, just so there'd be more contending teams. That would be like it'd be more split up. You know who'd be contenders, and you know who are pretty much going to be out of it by week 11, 12, and that means more players would be on the block. But two names I could see. I know Will, you mentioned him, Akeem Hicks, and the other name would be Fletcher Cox. So
Ooh, that's a
I
good
think
one.
those two. Um, I know Fletcher Cox is probably going to be heading out of the Eagles here this year, so those would be a couple of names to keep an eye on. I know those. You know, I didn't come up with anybody that no one's thought of before, but I think something up front, something with the line. I mean, our secondary has been amazing. I don't know who you're going to bring in to replace anybody. I know you might want a little bit more depth there in case someone gets banged up. So maybe you bring in another veteran cornerback. But I think for the most part, I think pretty much like you mentioned it, up and down from the roster. Like I don't see that many holes in our roster other than maybe some rotation players up in the trenches. You can't have too many of those guys. So
No, not at this point. Depth is always good, and we're having to face some adversity here with our depth. So
yeah.
if we can get anybody to come in and help when needed, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not exactly a whole lot of room for trades here. I mean, you got Andy Isabella, you maybe like Devon Kennard. I don't fucking know, but yeah, I mean, and I think it is really really good that we could say that because it any other year it's like, okay, well, who's available at the deadline? We need to get over the hump. We're 7-0 right now, which feels outstanding to say. I was saying this to Mac the other day, on the way back from the game, but it feels so good to hear the word best used to describe us. We have the best offense in the league. We have the best record in the league. And it's just, I know that's such, narcissistic bullshit, but it's just so fucking nice to,
Well, we got the best defense in the league. We're 16.28 points per game. That ranks number one.
Yeah.
I believe we have outscored our opponents by 111 points, which I believe is the largest margin in the NFL. So yeah, there's not too many things you can really nitpick, and I wouldn't expect us to go out and make a splash at the trade deadline. That's just Kime built this roster, and even with when Malcolm Butler left, he didn't go out there and make a splash. What he did is he went out there and he brought in veterans that have accrued 40, 50 career games, who weren't the big names, but that they've had experience under their belt. So I would think something similar to that, if anything, is what we'll see. If I had to put my money on it, though, I would say that we wouldn't be making a trade. I just think you keep it rolling.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we come out of tomorrow's game unscathed with injuries. It's just been crazy. I mean, I don't even remember. Do we even know when JJ Watt got hurt? Was it in practice, or that kind of seemed like it came out of left field?
We don't know. We can only speculate it was practice.
Okay.
But hopefully Kyler can stay healthy. Did you guys notice that they were trying to kill him in that game?
Yeah. What the fuck was that shit? That was some Sean. That was some Sean Payton shit.
That's
That
some
wasn't
Bounty
right.
Gate shit.
That is, it is fucked. Like, I have never seen an 0-7, or I guess they're 1-6 team now, just try so hard to fucking murder a quarterback. What the fuck?
I know
Well, our
one guy
offensive
in my
line kind of
section.
sucked that game, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, it's just like, I saw like numerous attempts at helmet to helmet. There was that one really bad one. It's just like, what the fuck?
He went into the blue 10 a couple times. I mean, if I'm a 300-pound guy, I'm trying to fucking level Kyler too. You know, I'm trying to hit him clean, but hit him hard as shit. And you
But
know
not
that.
kill the man.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a grown man.
Yeah, I know.
He's fine.
But if he goes down, our
it's flag
season's
football.
fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
offensive line have to do a better job. I'm not going to blame the other team when it's offensive line.
I know.
I feel like let us down more. So,
Mac, but you got to remember, this is the kind of shit that ended Kurt Warner's career. Like,
I mean, Bounty Gate was different. That was blindsided, fucking helmet to helmet, uncalled for. Rule changed after that, I believe. Can't do blindside hits anymore like that. I mean, Kyler's explosive. I mean, he made some hell of a plays last week. That one to D-hop down the sideline where he's like hopping in and out of traffic. Like when you do that, you're going to run into a couple big hits sooner or later, I feel like. But I know, at least for me, like I always kind of hold my breath when he's scrambling like that. And there's guys in the backfield chasing him. But I always in the back of my head have belief that he's going to make a big play happen that play. Like he could be 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you know, and just turn around and fling it. And it's like, for some reason, I have faith that it's going to be completion every single time. But Jackie's right. That's a big thing. I mean, it comes down to his health, and it's just kind of what it is when you have someone at his stature and he's been banged up in the past a little bit. But I mean, one thing that helps him a lot is that he's not running the ball very much. The Cardinals, what do you have this past week? He had like 6 rushes for 7 yards. So really, when he's running, he's more scrambling than anything. And I believe right now he's only accounting for 13% of our rushing total. Last year was at 36%. He finished like 900 rushing yards last year, and it was like 36% of our rushing total was Kyler. And that's completely changed this year, which is, I mean, what we all kind of really wanted. You know, you got to preserve him, and him running less will do that. So, and shout out to our running game, though. Our running game has been stout. You have James Conner scoring another touchdown. So he's up there still with among the league leaders. And then you have he and Chase Edmonds currently are both on pace to rush for over 800 yards this season, which I don't think is something that we've ever really had here. I know last year, I think Kenny and Drake and Kyler both rushed for over 900 or over 850 or something like that. But to have 2 running backs you can rely on, that is going to preserve Kyler more than probably anything. So, shout out to Steve Kime for bringing in James Conner. He's a fucking bulldog. He can sniff the end zone or first down from a mile away.
Yeah, and going back to what we were talking about, like with how such little flaws we have. It's like the one like major flaw that I saw people talking about this season was our defense is bad against the run, but it's like I'm looking at the rest of our slate and I see, let's see, 1, 2, 3 games where I see an intimidating running back on the schedule left.
I mean, the 2 toughest ones that we saw, I mean, Dalvin Cook kind of shook loose in that first half, but he didn't really do much that second half. We stopped Derrick Henry, who's by far the best running back in the world right now. He's crushing everybody. We stopped him. And then the last 2 weeks, I know the Texans don't have a great run game, but
they have the best run game of 2016, Mac.
They had 42 yards the week before that. The Browns had 72, I believe.
Speaking of which, Mark Ingram just got traded.
Right now?
Saints.
Yeah.
Well, like an hour or 2 ago.
Everybody's having a homecoming. Ingram's having a homecoming. Flacco just went back to the Jets. Like, man.
So to speak on Kyler, like I know last year we talked a lot about how our success winning games correlated with his feet. If he didn't rush for over a certain amount of yards, I think it's 35, 40 yards, which doesn't seem like a lot, but um, he did a lot of that damage to get first downs, third down, and whatnot. And now he hasn't rushed for over 40 yards at all in a game. In his last 3 games combined, he's totaled 17 rushing yards. And those games have, for the most part, been, we've dominated. So it's just nice to not have to rely on his legs. Just how valuable he is to this team. That's going to go a long way. And I didn't think we'd see this day already this year, but I mean, this offense is rolling. So hopefully we can keep it going tomorrow. I know the Packers are not going to be having Devontae Adams. We haven't talked about that yet. They're also going to be missing Lazard, their other wide receiver. So we'll see. I think we'll be in for a big dose of Aaron Jones, and that's the one thing we got to contain him. So I'm not really too worried about Randall Cobb or Robert Tonyan, whoever else are going to be lining up to try to throw to.
Yeah, I mean their receiver core is pretty much decimated with not having Lazard or Jones, or sorry, Adams. Yeah, their second best receiver, even going in, was already Aaron Jones. So,
Right.
I mean, it's but I mean, Aaron Rodgers has worked with less, and he's
Jeff fucking Janis.
Yeah, Jeff Janis had almost as many yards in that game as he did in his career, which I think is very funny. But like, there was a stat that I saw posted on Twitter the other day, and it basically said, take out the kick six and the pick six, just to make it a fully defensive performance. And the Cardinals' defense has only let up 14 points a game this season. And for reference, the lowest we've ever scored this season was 17 points. Like, we were talking earlier in the season, like saying that the 35 points per game or whatever we were scoring early on was unsustainable. But we haven't had a game where we scored less than 30 other than that 1 week. That's insane. That's crazy.
And what's funny about all that too is, like, I feel like some games we weren't even firing on all cylinders, and we're still putting up big margin wins.
Right, like even against the Texans, it was what, 3-0. We punted the ball a couple times, and it became 5-0, and then that's kind of like when our offense woke up.
Yeah.
Seemed like we ended up getting the.
Yep. What did you two think of the read option in the end zone? That was dumb, right? Like, that's not just me, right?
I get it, but I hate it at the same time.
I mean, we were talking about that, Will. It's like, pound that shit. You got
James Conner back
there. Yeah. Like, he's gonna go forward. You don't have Kenyon Drake back there. But yeah, no, I agree. When you got to take Cliff. Cliff is Cliff. He's gonna do what he does. Doesn't matter where he's at on the field. It truly doesn't matter. That's what you gotta love about the guy. But that's also what can kind of be a little frustrating. So, but I mean, right now, what I have, I know Aaron Rodgers is one with less wide receivers and what he's working with tomorrow, even. But the Cardinals defense has never had a type of defense in the secondary that we've been shown. Right now, our rank on defense for most yards per passing attempt is second best in the NFL. Teams are averaging only 5.5 yards per pass attempt against us. To turn that around, we're averaging as an offense 7.8 yards per pass attempt, and that's fourth in the NFL. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a tough time. We have faced decent quarterbacks, I feel like, and we have shut them all down for the most part. So it's going to be a challenge, but I have complete faith in this team and this defense. And I think it's going to be, I know my bold predictions were way off last week. I predicted 5 J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins touchdown plus sacks. We got 1. I wasn't shut out. And then Marco Wilson INT, which I don't think he really got close to anything. So my bold prediction this week is going to be about the game, and I think my bold prediction is Cardinals are going to win by at least 25. So we'll see how that goes.
That is
Knock on wood.
cool.
Knock on wood. It kind of reminds me of the 2015 when they came here, like the second to last week of the season or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, we beat their brains in.
Weren't they missing an O lineman though?
Yeah, I don't
I feel
know.
like that made the big difference, but still,
Yeah.
I'll
But I
still
think
go in there kick ass.
what do you guys think this team is better than the 2015 team? Because I mean, I personally do, and it really goes back to that defense. Our defense is good, those 15, but this defense is absolutely elite right now.
I also think that Kyler Murray right now has more options on offense than Palmer ever did.
And he's a better quarterback than Carson Palmer could ever dream of being. Hate to say it, but it's true.
Because he can extend the plays, and
Yeah.
he's very athletic.
He can make every throw. He can make every throw Carson did, but he can also extend them, throwing on the run. Like there's a lot of things that Carson was great at, but he was a statue back there. Let's not kid ourselves. And when we got him, he was over 32, 33. And Kyler's just a completely different quarterback, and I think better in almost every way. I mean, in year 3, what he's doing, he's 72% completion percentage. It's absurd for us averaging 7.8 yards of passing attempt. That's absolutely absurd. You can't. I mean, you have to go through the record books to find many players who could, put up those similar numbers while leading a team to be 7-0.
And like I'm watching Kyler's game, and especially like this last game, because people were saying, "Well, he looks pouty and he's given lip service to Hopkins after some play." But it's like I feel like that he's just a competitor, and I feel like that's competitor attitude. I see a lot of
like Michael Jordan in them. Yeah,
in a sense, like with that interview Kobe did where he goes, "Job's not finished." He looked pissed
exactly.
off.
3-1. Why aren't you smiling? Job ain't finished.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a very good comparison.
Yeah. So like he's not going to give you a nice pep talk and say, "Oh, good job," even though we just went 3-0. Like he's a competitor. He wants to win. And I think that's just what people got to deal with now. Like that's his leadership style.
I think with some players, people will never be satisfied. If he's too happy, or they'll be like, "Job's not finished." If he's too sad, they'll be like, "Why are you bitching? You're 7-0." I mean, there's gonna be haters no matter what approach you take.
Yeah.
What you drinking on over there, Jackie?
Water.
Yeah, well, a couple more months. What do you got? 2 more months, and then you'll be back at it with us.
Yeah, and I wish I would have put some like Arizona beers in my carry-on, just so I could save them for when I get birthed.
We'll ship some out to you. Bo Bobbles, get that done. You didn't have to pay for a video game last week, so Bo Bobbles will send you a nice little 6-pack for you, Jackie.
I don't think he's old enough. I think he has to sell.
He says, "Wow." Oh, that's right. Hey, Bob, you got to find someone who can buy the alcohol, Bobby. So
send her chocolate milk, Bobbles.
I got faith in you.
Shamrock Farms, baby.
Yeah, send chocolate milk and a pack of diapers.
Can I just say, is Bo Bobbles going to hold this Chase cameo over our heads forever?
Yeah, I mean.
Yes, he says yes. So Bo Bobbles, if you guys are new here, he's our editor and he's in our Discord.
$70.
70 bucks. Well, shit, I'm sure you did a lot of yard work for your mom to get that, that change. But
delivered a lot of papers.
And hey, sorry, Bobby. Last time we gave Bobby a compliment, our feed went to shit last week. So I'm coming after you, Bobby. We're coming after you this week. So you better be ready, bud. He says aight. Okay. It's enough for Bobby.
He's gonna kill the live right now.
I see. Yeah, we're done. Fuck it. Fuck Mac. I'm out of here. Not again.
You've said too much. We're off the air.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're still listening, we're live, 2nd week in a row. Cardinals trying to go 8-0. We're less than 24-hour countdown. So if you got a beer, cheers. I'm raising my tall Michelob Ultra tall can right now, so I know you got to watch the calories. So whatever. Okay, Bobby, we'll replace you. I'm not even gonna look at Discord no more. Sorry, Bobby, get out of here, bud. Love you. Hearts. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
still hear you. You haven't been
Okay.
cut yet. But yeah, man, shit. So what? I'm gonna bullshit here. What did you guys think of the play where Hopkins had the extra effort to get the first?
Stuff of legends, man. This is exactly why you trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks. Jackie wants to trade DeAndre Hopkins.
That's why you
Wow.
trade for DeAndre Hopkins. You give the Texans a bag of balls and a Chico stick, and you get DeAndre Hopkins.
It is really, really funny, like how much of our team has been constructed off of bad trade teams made. Like we got Golden for a 7th round pick. We got Ertz for a 5th. We got fucking Hudson for a 6th. We got Hopkins for a 2nd. Like we've constructed like a wrecking crew with table scraps. It's like
Yeah,
this.
so thank you, all you stupid GMs out there.
It's like that scene in Iron Man, you know, with Jeff Bridges. He built it in a cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah, I mean it's a well constructed team, and all credit has to go to Steve Keim. A lot of fans, including myself, were blasting him last year. I knew he wasn't gonna get fired only 2 years in with Cliff because they showed promise after year one. But there's no doubt this team is better all around. And I posted something this week where from year one to now, so basically a 2 full year span, which is 3 seasons, our offense has jumped up about 10 points per game, and our defense has jumped down from about 26 points per game to what it's at now, like 16. And of course, you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, but I mean, damn, Steve Keim has brought in some ballers and he's made it work. And we all doubted him when Malcolm Butler retired and he didn't go out and get a big name. And boom, here's Marco Wilson, Robert friggin' Alfred is number one in the NFL right now from cornerbacks on yards per target. When they target him, he's only giving up 4 point something yards per target. He's number one in the NFL right now
Wow.
for any cornerback who's been targeted at least 30 times. There's been 60 something, not any cornerback, but any defensive player. And there's about 60 something defensive players in the NFL who have been targeted at least 30 times. Robert Alfred is number one. That's somebody that Steve Keim brought in 2 years ago. And it's just a remarkable story to not play the last 2 years. And then also top 10 on that list, if you move that list from 30 to 27 targets, is Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons and he's the number 2 linebacker on that list. And he's number 7 holding opponents to like 5.1 yards per target when he's targeted, which is, I know a lot of we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna give us a shout out, this podcast a fucking shout out, because nobody was talking about that shit 2-3 weeks ago, how great we've been doing against tight ends. But no, we fucking talked about that here. Now you see all these other fucking accounts talking, oh, the Isaiah Simmons effect. Yeah, bitch, we talked about that fucking, sorry. And we did that shit last week too. Like, if you listen to this pod, we bring stuff to the table that people aren't talking about. I don't want to talk about shit, really, like stats and other stuff that people that the majority narrative that is surrounding the team currently. I want to talk about stuff that has a little bit of a track record. That's why I love going through stats and seeing, okay, we're 7 games in now. What's working? What's not working? And then finally, people are coming around to it. It's happened each of the last 2 years that we've been on here. There's been a handful of things we brought up, and then a couple weeks later, the narrative starts swirling around that. It's not the sexy thing to talk about, but yeah, if you've been listening for the last few weeks, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Cheers to you. But yeah, now it's the fantasy. I saw this week the fantasy group on Twitter, the fantasy Twitter, whatever, football is talking about, don't start tight ends against the Cardinals. Number one against the Cardinals, they are against tight ends, giving up only 154 yards to tight ends and 0 touchdowns this week. So shout out to this podcast. I love you guys. Thank you guys who listen. We're always trying to be better, and so thank you guys.
Yes, thank you all for listening. Thank you for sticking around with us. I know it's, we We can put on a good show sometimes. We can put on a bad show sometimes. And I know like these it's kind of hard to watch a long live stream or even just listen to a long episode. So we appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts, our very cold drunk hearts. Thank you.
I'm just here for the beer.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it is really really neat to see something that I made, me and Bobby made, just goofing around as high schoolers, just turn into something with a semi decent following. So
Oh, Bobbles is not in high school even now. What are you talking about?
He's in junior high.
Right.
Hey, Bobby, hey, you got on my bad side, bud. Now he's typing real quick. I see him typing. Oh, shit. Messed up. Backspace. Happy birthday, Bobby. We love you.
We're going to take you to Chuck E. Cheese, Bobby.
I know Bobby's I know
Carl's Entertainment Cheese.
You're going to go in the ticket fan machine, Bobby?
Hey, Will, did we not have our kind of section rocking? Like, I feel like when we were there, the first touchdown we had, it was just like us high-fiving each other. And then by the end of the game, we're like hugging everyone, like fucking high-fiving people 2 rows ahead of us, 2 rows behind us. Like, I had a blast, dude. Did you have a good time going to the game on Sunday with us?
Dude, it was just completely insane. I felt like I was I can't even describe it.
Good. That's the way I like to hear. That means I did my job.
It's awesome. Like you got to go if you've never been. I don't know what you're doing here. Get tickets to a game. If you have the means, I definitely recommend sitting fan side, lower level. We all stand, we hug, we high five. Even like the lady that sits next to me, or my dad's season tickets. I gotta say, she's probably in like her 70s. She's there with her husband. But if I did not high five her, she would like grab my hand and put it in hers.
That's awesome. You gotta love that because at 70 or like even older people like that of similar age.
They love the interaction, man.
This team wasn't here back in the day, when they were frankly your guys' age. I'm about as old as the Cardinals have been here, but people who are football fans in the 70s, 80s really didn't have anyone. So it always like warms my heart when I see people who like feel like they have generations behind them who also rep our teams here. Because not a lot of them, been around that long. Just the Suns been around 50 plus years. But other than that, Cardinals have only been here 33 now. So to see someone like that gives that warms my heart right there, my blood pumping, and I'll cheers to that. Drink up. Thank you.
Yeah, people that make the switch, and if my dad's listening, he's probably gonna be mad that I'm gonna say this out loud because he doesn't like to talk about it.
He used to be a Steelers fan.
No, he used to be a Cowboys fan. We have family. His family's from Texas, so
used to. My mom's from Texas too. She was a Cowboy fan from El Paso.
My dad used to be a Giants fan because he was from upstate.
Yeah, I've met your dad, and he seems like a pretty diehard Cardinal fan now too, right?
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
He was watching along and back home too. So,
does your dad still root for the Cowboys at all, Jackie?
No, not at all.
Nice.
Cowboys.
Papa San Diego, we love you. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir. Nice, awesome. That's what I love to hear. Awesome.
Yeah. I do think that anybody who does get the chance should go to a game. Panthers Cardinals is coming up in a couple weeks. I feel like that's probably the easiest ticket you're going to get all year, aside from the Christmas game. It's like there's a reason the Christmas game is going to be cheap. It's because it's Christmas.
I think that's going to be popping.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be like.
It's not going to be like this week. It's not Packers. I saw some Packers. The tickets going here like $350 each, lower level. Like, God damn.
Sweet Lord. I mean, the Cardinals are good. I'd pay that, but good Lord.
Yeah. Thursday night too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't ever like those Thursday night games, man. I mean, looking at what's on I'm gonna spoil the slate here just briefly. The Monday night game is Chiefs Giants. You're gonna tell me that's still a Monday night game that can't be flexed? I don't know.
Did
I
you
know it's
say
too late.
Chiefs or cheeks?
I thought I heard
Both.
cheeks. I thought I heard cheeks as
I
well.
thought I heard
It's
Thank
cheeks.
both,
you.
baby. It's both. They're the Chiefs
Uh,
and their cheeks.
I love it. I love it.
Speaking of which, this is a crazy stat I heard about the Chiefs. Jackie, I don't know if it's still accurate because this was like last week. So
Uh-huh.
Jackie, the greatest show on turf Rams averaged 7.0 yards a play. The Chiefs this year let up 7.1 per play.
Oh shit.
And so it was just brought to my attention that we are, according to Bobable's, 0-8 in our color rush. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're abysmal in those.
Man, how is it?
Those things are cursed.
Did we not tie? I feel like we had a tie on the Thursday night. No.
Was that the
We-
one we
we had
played
a-
Seattle and those kicks?
That was a Sunday night. I remember that. I had school in the morning. I was so
Oh,
fucking
okay.
pissed that I stayed up till midnight.
Damn. 0-8. Holy. So I mean, hold on. I'm the boomer here. They only do color rush on Thursdays, correct?
Yes.
So basically, we're 0-8 in our last 8 Thursday night games. Is that what that's saying?
In the ones where we wear those jerseys, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Hey, records are meant to be broken, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah,
And what a coincidence! We're 0-8 in a game where we can go 8-0.
Oh, bada
Ooh.
bing! There you go.
See
Yeah,
what we did there?
nice.
Shabam. But yeah, like it is really, it's really nice to go full hopeful, full optimist. It's nice. I am so glad
It
that I
is.
haven't been a trader in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, with Kyler anything is possible.
Yeah,
Amen to that.
and with
Amen to
this
that.
defense,
And with
like
that defense, because even with
like
Kyler's not having a good
like
game.
let's talk about the pass rush. This stat's crazy. So the Arizona Cardinals are responsible for 10 turnovers caused by pressure, which is 10% of the league this year.
Wow.
10%.
Shout out to Marcus Golden. 4 forced fumbles, leads the NFL.
Watt, Jones, and Golden are all tied with 3 apiece.
They are a force.
Yeah, I know
Anybody
Golden has 4, but
anybody who discounts the Arizona Cardinals right now, I'm sorry, you're a fucking fool. You're a jackass. You are a complete moron if you discount this team.
yeah, I agree, and I know Fredo. I know Fredo's in kind of our group chats with Jackie.
Love Fredo.
Yeah, but I saw him in a comment today telling someone, be humble, like,
Mhm.
and I agree.
Know. It's
Like,
just fan mentality, you know.
Oh, I agree, and it's like I don't care what the fuck Keyshawn Johnson thinks about us. Why do I care? Because Gambo's hyping it up. Like, no, I mean, I literally could not give a shit what half of these, personalities. That's basically what they are. They're personalities. They're trying to get viewers. Have to say about us. It's those fucking the Sports Illustrated, the Pick Six review. It's like you have us at 5 on a power fucking poll. Like, seriously, you got multiple teams ahead of us that we've either beaten or have 2 losses. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, those are the sites that irritate me the most. But yeah, shout out to Fredo. I don't know if you guys follow him, but that's he's a pretty good account. I'm not even sure what his ad is, so sorry to fail you. But another stat, which I think is crazy. Blake Murphy found, I think, on Reddit last week that the Cardinals were only 31 points away from matching our point total from all of 2018, which is a Bradford Rosen era. And of course, we put up 31. So through 7 weeks this season, we've already matched our season total from 16 games in 2018. Really, just 3 full years ago, which is fucking nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I will fully admit that I didn't take as many notes this
No,
week.
we're already an hour in. Let's jump to the predictions. We don't need to ramble.
Yeah. I figured.
Congrats to Jackie on winning 10-1.
I
Holy shit!
won. If I didn't swing for the goddamn fences with the Lions, I would have been fucking perfect. And the Lions had him on the ropes for a minute, so it didn't look
They
stupid.
did.
It looked too stupid.
They did.
God
All
damn it.
right. So, Sunday afternoon to start off our slate, we got Panthers, Falcons. Who you got?
Falcons.
Yeah, I gotta go Falcons. The Panthers have just been abysmal. Sam Darnold, everyone was hyping him first couple of weeks. Yeah, looks like dog shit now again.
Yeah, it's gotta be the
potential
Falcons.
MVP candidate.
It's got to be the Falcons, especially since it's in Atlanta. I could maybe see if it's in Carolina. Can't see if it's in Atlanta.
So
All right.
across the board, but Bobbles goes ATL as well.
We got some ATLians up in here. All right.
Good album. Good album.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Can't go wrong with 3000. All right.
Nope.
Titans, Colts. Who you got?
Titans.
Same here.
Yeah.
I like what the Colts have been doing. I feel like Carson Wentz has looked a lot better last few weeks. Being like a
He's doing
competent
less
quarterback,
shit. Yeah.
giving his team a chance to win.
Yeah.
But I still have to go Titans. Derrick Henry's a friggin' beast. Just ran over. Who they play last week?
They blew out the Chiefs.
Yeah. And the Chiefs. I guess the Chiefs don't have a great defense, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be the Titans. I am not a believer of that Colts team right now. They have not been a team that's worth anything.
Jonathan Taylor's a beast, but yeah, their defense has been awful for the most part as well.
After that, we got Dolphins, Bills. I mean, do we even have to say it?
I think this is gonna be the third game in a row across the board. Buff.
Yep.
Yep.
It got to be the Bills. All right, barely even had to say it. Jets, Bengals in New York. Who you got?
I think this is 4 across the board.
Yep.
I got Cincy.
Yeah, that just.
I feel the hesitation and the silence between Jackie and Will.
I'm not going for the Jets. What the fuck? Go Bengals.
No. So I've told you guys in the past that my uncle is like a diehard Bengals fan, and it's my dad's brother. So he texted my dad at the Cardinals game, best team in the world with the Bengals logo. And my dad's like, oh, I mean the Cardinals?
Yeah, my sister's a Bengals fan, and I don't know how. Her husband's from Cincinnati, and I think he converted her, but my older sister's like 6 years older. But they went to the Baltimore game last week, which would have been a dope-ass game to go to on the road. You see fucking your team beat up Baltimore the way they did. I mean, Bengals look scary. Jamar Chase, that's right now hands down
talent.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be the Bengals. After that, you got Steelers, Browns. This one's tricky. Who you got?
Considering how beat up the Browns still are, looks like they're going to get Nick Chubb back. But who's their quarterback?
Keenum.
Case Keenum.
And if I remember right, Keenum was only playing because they wanted to rest Baker for a week, right?
Yes.
I've been seeing some conflicting kind of reports. I've been so busy at work.
Baker himself says it's possible he'll play.
I'm gonna go Pitt. Maybe because I got Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool in a couple leagues, but I'm gonna go Pitt. I think they're gonna kind of bounce back.
I'm gonna say the Browns. I think
Pitt's
they're gonna come out scrappy.
Okay.
I want to put my faith in the Browns, but it's just like that team's beaten up enough, and they're with stars coming back from injury. I don't know. It's in Cleveland, so anything could happen. But I'm gonna hedge my bets and be safe. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Okay.
After that, you got Eagles, Lions. Who you got?
Ugh.
I'm gonna go Lions. I gotta win one, just one.
I feel for the Lions. I want them to win.
It's hard.
If they
I'm
lose
going
every
Philly
game,
again.
if they lose every game, then they'll be the best team to have lost every game. That's the bright side.
They'd be the first team ever to go 0-16 twice, I think.
0-17.
Oh,
First team to go
shit.
0-17.
That would be embarrassing first year.
I honestly, I mean, Lions. Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be the
all
Lions.
three of you pick Lions, but Bobbles behind the scenes.
Shout out,
Picking
Bobby.
Lions as well. Let's
If
go,
Bobby's
Philly!
got the Lions are doing it.
Let's go, Philly!
Philly. All right. We got Rams, Texans. Do we even have to say it?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, no.
Rams,
Yeah, we don't even have to say it. Let's just go to the next one.
Rams getting all the cupcake matchups. I see.
Marcus across the board.
Yep.
All right. Niners, Bears. That is a game.
Yeah. That's a game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Probably not going to be a great one, but so the Bears have been crushing it on the ground. They lost David Montgomery. Khalil Herbert stepped in. He's been great. But I have to go. Let's go to Bears!
Jackie, who you got?
The Bears.
I want to be biased and say the Bears just because fuck San Francisco and everything San Francisco, but I feel like they're going to win, so I'll go with 49ers.
Big San Fran fan, huh?
I don't know what you guys are seeing. The fucking Bucks secondary is porous, and they only managed to get 3 points on them. It's going to be the Niners.
Well, the Niners are freaking awful. You ripped Indy. Niners lost to Indy. Yeah, Justin Fields, he still has some work to do.
Got growing pains.
But I think I don't think you should ever put your full support behind the Bears if you can help it.
Plus Matt Nagy, he sucks.
I still put it behind over the 49ers. Oh, I said
it. Matt Nagy is the biggest blemish on the Andy Reid coaching tree. It's not even close. All right. Pats, Chargers, who you got?
Chargers.
Yep, gotta go LA.
I'm gonna go LA. All right. Opening up your 4 o'clock slate, you got Jaguars, Seahawks, who you got?
Jags.
Yep.
Holy shit, we're all going Jags?
Yeah!
Seahawks are awful. To me, Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, and the Jags over Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and whatever the hell their kind of product they're putting out there. But yeah, all 4 of us, Bobbles, also picked the Jags.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Seattle sucks, and I'm here for it.
Oh my God. All right. All right, we got Bucks Saints after that. Who you got?
I am going Bucks. I think you have to go Bucks, man.
It's hard to bet against Brady. I think it's going to be the Bucks.
Yeah, Saints are 4-2, but they're squeaking by against Geno Smith, and
I'm gonna go Saints. I think Sean Payton's got something up his sleeve.
Okay, I like it.
Don't know what he's gonna do with Jameis Winston, but I'll go with it.
I think it's gonna be like a spite game because they fuck Bruce Arians type of deal, you know.
There we go.
All right, to close out your 4 o'clock slate, you got an awful matchup. You got Washington versus Denver. Who you got?
Washington.
Fuck. Jackson's got Washington. I'm gonna go. That Denver team has been collapsing. Go Washington. I was gonna pick a tie.
Anybody who is watching this game, I truly pity. It's going to be the worst game of the year, Barn. So it won't even be entertaining. It'll be just boring. I mean, I'm gonna say.
Bubbles picks the Broncos. Shocker.
I'm gonna say
Denver. Big fan.
I'm gonna say Washington. I guess that's not a vote of confidence. 8 p.m. You've actually got a pretty damn good game on Sunday Night Football. You got Cowboys Vikings. Who you got?
I'm gonna say Vikings.
Vikings. Cowboys. Oh, that pained me to say it. Oh, that hurt.
Kirk Cousins in prime time is not a recipe for success. I'm gonna say Cowboys.
Jackie, you're going mini.
Yep.
Cool. Then Bill Bobbles goes Cowboys. Big Cowboy fan, I know it.
Yep. He's got a Cowgirls cheerleader uniform.
Will, you in Dallas?
Oh yeah, weather's real lovely this time of year. It's so nice.
Well, they're both in dorms.
Dorms.
Throw the pigskin past your stoner neighbor. But yeah, it's got to be the Cowboys. Kirk Cousins primetime. Ugh. All right, Monday night. Got Giants Chiefs in Arrowhead. Who you got?
Ugh, I'm gonna go with KC, even though they look like shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go KC as well.
Shocker to end all shockers. I'm gonna go Giants here.
Shocker, you're probably starting friggin' Daniel Jones again, huh?
I'm not, actually. I actually got
Bullshit.
Kirk Cousins I got Kirk Cousins off the waiver wire.
Bashing Kirk Cousins friggin' 30 seconds ago.
Against your fantasy quarterback.
I don't fucking need him. I am projected to win by 21. All I need is for him to get like 10 points and I'm good.
Obama's going Giants as well.
The only reason I'm not starting Lamar is because he's on the fucking bye week. I swear to God.
Okay.
He is.
I know.
Which leads us to tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Your Arizona Cardinals versus the cheese curd loving, the hot dish eating, the oh you betcha Green Bay Packers. Who do y'all have?
Chirp, 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 chirp. Go Cardinals.
Yep, got cards going. Score is going to be 27-17.
I think we're all going to be in that 10 range.
Yeah.
Except for my bold prediction, but thanks for putting me out there with you guys. I am going 36-6. Oh shit! I said 25, didn't I? Fuck.
36-11.
That could be a scoregami, maybe. I
don't think it is.
Okay, all-knowing Will. I'm going 36-10.
Ooh, okay, ass whooping.
I'm gonna say 35-24. Cardinals.
All right.
Will Bobbles picked 34-24. What you got, Jackie?
27-17.
All right. And I think, honestly, the thing that I think it really is going to come down to, which I was kind of surprised finding out after the Cardinals have had a couple of big weeks on the ground last 2 weeks, that they're now 5th in the NFL in rushing yards. We talked about how Kyler only is accounting for 13% of those compared to 36% last year. And on the other side, we got the Packers over here who rank 22nd in the league in rushing yards given up so far. And they rank 30th in the league, right below us, in rushing yards per attempt given up. So I think this is going to be a big week. So I'm going to add my other prediction, my other bold prediction in there is that we're going to run for over 200 yards this week. So I think we're gonna try to kill clock. We're gonna want to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field as much as possible because really that's their best bet to beat us is him and Aaron Jones. So if you keep them off the field, give us more time of possession. I think we got a Chase Edmonds breakout game again, but altogether I see 200 yards rushing for the Cardinals. This is another good game to keep jumping up in the standings. So the first 3 weeks, I wanted to mention this earlier and I just kind of spaced it. First 3 weeks of the season, we rushed for 330 yards total, which is 110 yards per game. These next 4 games, we've rushed for over 600 yards and at 156 yards per game. We've increased that by almost 50 yards per game these last 4 weeks. I think that's we talked about it as well. It's people who don't watch the Cardinals call it an air raid, whatnot, but we're coming full force, air, ground. It don't matter. We're unpredictable for the most part. So I do think this is a game where our rush game kind of pops off again. We've been kind of feeling it last 3-4 weeks. So keep it rolling. Keep the good times rolling. Let's get a Cardinals fucking W.
Yeah, that Chiefs team looks more like more like the Texas Tech teams. All offense, no defense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I totally agree with what you say about the run game, because like Taylor Heineke, of all people, led the Washington football team in rushing against the Packers with 95 rushing yards. I mean, if
Jesus.
I know it's Kyler. I know Kyler's not really particular for running the ball himself, but I mean, this would be as good a game as any for him to do that.
Yeah, shout out David Garcia in the chat. He had just put that as well, that he had rushed for over 100 yards. So it's going to be a ground attack for sure.
Who rushed for over 100 yards?
Taylor Heineke.
Well, not over
100.
Oh, against Green Bay. That's right. They just faced them. Okay. Yeah. No, I definitely think they're susceptible to the run, and I think that's something that's gonna prove to be the difference maker. One of the difference makers, even though I got them winning by 26. So
I don't think that Watt being out will affect us as much as one might think, just given the fact that we have Josh Allen coming back and Chandler coming back. I think that should offset it. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers, again, he's worked with less than he will this game, so it's like, who's
I
to
think
say?
we can try to shut down Aaron Jones, and our rush defense has actually been really good last couple of weeks. Sure, the Texans don't have much, but they only put up 40-something yards. The week before that, Browns, #1 rushing team in the NFL. Yeah, sure, they didn't have Nick Chubb, and
My
Kareem Hunt
editor
went down.
my editor is informing me that I should have said Zach Allen and not
Yeah, I heard
Josh
that too.
Allen.
Yeah, I was going to say something, but I was going to let you go with it.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see if we can stop their run game, because they didn't really get Aaron Jones going last week, I don't believe. I think that they're going to really try to get him going. He's a great running back. He's probably top 5 running backs in the NFL right now. So, I mean, if I'm them, I'm trying to make it the Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones show. So, but Cardinals defense has been stout against the run recently, and they received a lot of criticism previously heading into those last 2 weeks. So, looking forward to seeing if that trend stays, and if we can hold the Packers under 100 rushing yards for the 3rd game in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so fucking nice.
Shout out David. Thanks for listening, brother. We appreciate you.
Yes, and he's probably like the most active person in our group chat, always coming with receipts, with the facts. So he's a good follow. If you don't follow David, check him out.
But yeah, it is so nice to be talking about the Cardinals in this context. You guys have no idea how painful it was to have to do like episodes, or sometimes because of schedules, like even multiple episodes about the worst games of Cardinals football ever in that Rosen year. Holy shit, it's just night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some friends who cover the Coyotes, so I kind of, they kind of put Coyotes this year with the 2018 Cardinals. Yeah, it's miserable. So hopefully we can keep it going and be 8-0 and come back on here talking about another win heading into.
This is like the biggest possible, just knock on wood scenario, but I'm like looking at the rest of our schedule, and like aside from the Packers game, Rams game, like,
I don't even want to talk about undefeated. Do not even bring that up. Do not bring that shit in here.
we could go 15-2.
Okay, that's better than what I thought.
Yeah.
One game at a time, like Kyler said, 1-0. So,
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, let's not. Yeah.
I changed what I was gonna say.
But, I know. I don't even want to talk about it. We don't even want to talk about it.
We're not gonna win a single game from here forth. We're going 8-9. I'm sorry, the season's over. But yeah, man, shit, it's just, I love this. I love being able to talk about the Cardinals from this perspective.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
my god. Now, if only the Suns were good right now, that'd be nice.
We're 1-2. We'll be fine. We'll play tonight. Those Suns, if you're still listening.
They're not gonna win another game. They're going 1-81.
No, go Suns.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this up so everybody can get ready for the
Yeah,
Suns.
we don't need to keep
beers.
rambling. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
we're
cool.
just bullshit. We're bullshitting at this point. This is filler.
Thank you
But
guys all
anyway.
for tuning in to our live show. We appreciate you guys. We wouldn't be here without y'all.
Yep, all
If you
three
haven't
of y'all.
subscribe, please.
And
like.
shout out to the head couch analysts for both appearing in our intro and joining us for the meetup after the game. They are lovely, lovely folks. And if you guys aren't sub to them and aren't following them,
that's incorrect. That is incorrect. You met Jordan McManus. He's not the head coach analyst. Shout out Jordan. Jordan.
We met him too.
Jordan and
shout
Andrew.
Out Jordan. Shout out Pardue. I'm sad that Sanders couldn't make it.
Sanders couldn't make it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we met one of them. Yeah, shit.
Pardue.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
It's so cool. But yeah, shout out to those folks. But anyway, my name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at liveonthatswing.
My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego. That is 2 O's.
So what up? My non-government name is Mac. You can find me on Twitter at azsportsfiend, FIEN. And thank you for nobody coming up and swinging on me while we're at the Tillman statue on Sunday. Appreciate it.
And this has been the Redbird Redzone podcast. This is a Max Hall production. If you want to reproduce this shit, you better fucking pay me, bitch. Peace out.